Criminal justice is multidimensional, and it refers to the laws, procedures, institutions, and policies at play before, during, and after the commission of a crime. The importance of criminal justice to smooth running of any society cannot be overemphasized, and an effective criminal justice system is fundamental to the maintenance of law and order and ensuring offenders are duly punished according to the law.
You see, in administration of criminal justice, it's a kind of a multi-dimensional kind of a thing, in the sense that it is not only the courts that are involved in the administration of criminal justice. Apart from the courts, the parties, we also have the lawyers who are either prosecuting or the lawyers who are defending those that have been prosecuted. We also have the correctional services, which hitherto is referred to as the prison service. But we now have what we call the correctional services in place of the former prison service. Now, these correctional services, they also play a key role in the administration of criminal justice because they have custody of mostly those who have been prosecuted in respect of the various criminal charges or criminal cases.
In Nigeria, the criminal justice system comprises interconnected institutions such as law enforcement, prosecution, the courts and correction agents, all aimed at ensuring the equitable and fair treatment of all individuals, regardless of social strata, tribe, race, or gender.
The four sectors that are key in this criminal justice administration is the police, Ministry of Justice, the Judiciary, and the correctionals.
It all begins with arrest of suspects by the police and other state agencies in the state. And then after arrest, investigation is carried out. After investigation is carried out, there are particular cases that are to be prosecuted by the Ministry of Justice. Talking of rape, talking of kidnapping, talking of culpable homicide, talking of cattle rustling and other related offenses.
However, the criminal justice system is not perfect. The myriad of issues that belabor a society abound to affect the level of efficiency with which the criminal justice system thrives within such society.
The first thing there is the issue of the profiling of legal advice. The law requires that it be done within 14 days. And that's a challenge because, number one, inadequate lawyers in the ministry, and then again, issue of facilities like computers, lack of adequate computer operators, lack of light, all these challenges, and is a kind of a myriad of challenges we face here in order to prosecute cases in court.
We have a lot of criminal cases arising from the ethno-religious permutations or challenges in the state. We have criminal cases arising from the economic and the socio-political challenges that are facing the state. This, over the years, has placed the state among the states in the country with a very high number of criminal cases.
Nigeria's criminal justice system faces major challenges including, but not limited to, pervasive corruption.
The issue of challenges of the competency of the staff, the issue of corruption in the staff, and the issue of the logistics provided by the government.
There are issues of accountability issues of accountability. When there are no measures of accountability in the criminal justice system, it makes it very difficult. And you also talk about coordination within the elements of the criminal justice system, you know, talking about the Ministry of Justice, talking about the Judiciary, talking about the police, correctional center, and all other agencies that are involved. You know, if there's no coordination, that coordination is lacking, which affects the criminal justice process and making the masses lose hope and trust in the process of justice.
Frequent transfer of judges.
You are handling matters and you have just gone halfway. Before you know it, they have moved you to the next station, and that really hampered with a lot of. Sometimes you have to go back on fiat. The CJ will have to grant you a fiat where you go and entertain to these matters.
Poor exhibit handling due to inadequate exhibit storage facilities.
Terrible situation. In fact, some of the files, even when you look at them, you will not even see, before you know it, missing of files, because we had no even place to even keep these files. Sometimes they have to take court files to judges' houses because the offices, they were not safe.
There wasn't really a system of a proper system of checking the flow of how the cases come in and how they are dispensed with, and how, you know, a time frame allotted to each.
Systemic delays due to the use of manual case management systems.
The problem is that all the system is analog. You understand? Files are kept like old since when the colonial masters came and left. The same way of doing it. Judges writing in short, longhand. And then the number of cases that are paid. A judge could have 15 cases in his docket. Is it humanly possible to have 15 cases in a day? It's not possible.
We had no shelves and no organized place, and so we throw files anyhow.
We've had scenarios where you go to a court and the case file is said to be missing. No court official is able to explain as to what happened.
Surging rates of pretrial detention in Nigeria's custodial centers.
We have incessant adjournments. We have problems sometimes with producing inmates for trials in courts. We have long trials and overcrowded dockets and few judges.
If you are looking for a record that has to do with somebody that is incarcerated, it may take weeks, it may take months before you're able to get, because visibly it will look difficult, because if you just enter a particular place where records are kept, the sight of it alone, wow.
Excessive cost of litigation, poor funding, and other related issues.
All the criminal cases, first port of call is always with the police, you know, and we still find that the police do have shoddy investigative techniques. You see, a simple case can take up to 3, 4, 5 years to investigate.
It also has to do with the corruption, the way and manner police kept their records. The right statement, and there will be kind of connivance, the statement will be removed, or the case file is going to be missing because there's no proper recording of those cases.
From my experience here as OC Legal of the Command, I have noticed that our policemen suffer scarcity of the required logistic that is needed to fight the current security challenges we have in the state. You see, technology has gone advanced, and armed banditry in the state has also gone advanced. Criminality generally has gone advanced. So as opposed to the manual way of approach to things, I think a lot needs to be done about technology.
A combination of these challenges gave birth to the hydra-headed monster of undue delay in justice delivery that has bedeviled the criminal justice system in Nigeria. With cases dragging in courts for months and years unending, justice suffocates and is in urgent need of a breath of fresh air.
Constitutionally, every judgment must be delivered within 3 months. Why some judges will have to stay for so long is what I cannot explain. Any criminal trial that will last for more than 2-3 years is not in line with the letter and spirit of the law at all. Most of these capital cases, even cases that are not capital, defendants are usually in prison. How do you compensate a person who has been kept in prison for 2, 3, 4 years for trial, only for him to be found not guilty at the end of the day? So what happened to the 4 years he has spent in prison?
So you find out that the defendant ordinarily charged with the offense, he spent like 10 years starting trial, that if the trial had really been commenced. At the time, you find out that the production wasn't beginning to, they said they could not find it from the prison.
To the court users, either the plaintiffs and the litigants, they see a court system which delays unnecessarily. They see a court system that's ineffective. They see a court system that is slow. And they also see a court system that is bedeviled by a lot of inefficiencies.
Every problem, they say, gave rise to the possibility of a solution equally potent and direct to it. The Public and Private Development Center, PPDC, a dynamic non-governmental organization focused on strengthening and scaling reforms targeted at service delivery in the administration of justice, as well as promoting transparency and accountability in governance and active citizenship, is driving impactful solutions in addressing some major bottlenecks in the Nigerian judicial system through its court administration and case management CACM project. Supported by the United States Department of State Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs.
Court administration and case management project is an initiative of Public and Private Development Center, fully funded by USINL within the framework of the USAID project in Nigeria. And basically, CACM project, as we popularly call it, have 4 major objectives that cut across access to justice in Nigeria. The overall objective of the project is to see efficiency, transparency, accountability, and effectiveness in access to justice projects.
The CACM initiative by the PPDC is an advancement from the analog to a digital case management system, where we upload case files that we have handy, we upload them online so other criminal justice agencies can have access to them. And they actually provided us with systems, gadgets for us to be able to upload these case files, and there was a training that actually gave us a better understanding of what we had to do with these case files.
With focus on 3 pilot states in Nigeria, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Plateau states, the CACM project highlights 4 cardinal pathways to resolving systemic failures and delays in the administration of criminal justice. They include improved capacity, efficiency, and accountability in Nigeria's courts through enhanced case management.
We have been fortunate in this jurisdiction to be part of the pilot scheme that is currently being run by the Public-Private Development Center as the Court Administration and Case Management Project. They have intervened in helping us develop a system of keeping our exhibits in very good and conducive atmosphere. There are other things that they have done, like retrofitting some of our courts.
Our work has basically centered around one of the core things that Case Management Administration Project Center on, which is building a technology that drives case management, and is basically to achieve about 4 to 5 key things. One is case tracking, which is to say from the inception that they receive a case to the closure, we have built a technology that captures that in the same way they have it in their manual register, but this is now a technology that makes that happen and it captures that information. But beyond case tracking, it's also about case assignment. So as they have captured that information, it gives a specific days that if it crosses 3 days, for instance, nothing has happened to that case, it has not been assigned to anybody, it flags it off. So the CJ knows that I have to so amount of case file to assign and I have to do something about that. So that leads us to the issue about case assignment. Now listen, what that means is that all the court administration processes that get delayed, we're trying to put a technology in place that helps them address those challenges. Now, after case assignment is when we now talk about case scheduling at the court level, because you have been assigned to a particular court. The system helps them put a process in place. They also make sure that they schedule their case in a proper way. So part of it is that they can produce their cost list. Cost list is if they want to know a case that will happen from the 1st of November, for instance, to the 1st of November. They can print that list from the system because it's already been scheduled within their system without not doing all the other manner what they used to do and stuff like that. And the system has been structured in a way that after 20 days, nothing has happened. It flags it as overdue lists. So it means that there's a reminder system to say, why is this case spending more than the time you should have spent going through these court administration processes?
You can use it as an application, offline and online. It's on cloud, that wherever you are, as long as you have a data and a smartphone, you can be able to go into the portal and log in. If you have your username and your password, you can be able to use it as an iCourt judge. If you're just a lawyer, for you to go through of a case that maybe is ongoing in the iCourt, you can just log in and go through the court and you see the process of the file of the cases that are ongoing.
Now, e-filing has been introduced in Nasarawa State, meaning the money that you will pay formally to register without receipt, such will not happen now. So if you go and file an affidavit, for example, you pay to the government through remitter, that money goes straight to the purse of the government. It will reduce corrupt practices. And when that happens, government gets more revenue through that process.
Already our cases, criminal cases have been, captured, uploaded in the platform as it is today, wherein at the dashboard, you are able to see the number of cases we are prosecuting. You are able to see, okay, they are spread in terms of, what offense, and then you're able to see, okay, who is the counsel handling. You're able to see some basic information as to the court, the judge, the level of the project or of the case. You're able to see adjoined dates, at just a touch of a button. And of course, that will go a long way in, of course, enhancing the criminal justice, system.
Improved control, preservation and storage of evidence, improved scheduling system for court sessions and hearings in the Nigerian criminal justice system.
Part of the challenge is about they have fixed a court date, but the prosecutor or the defense counsel need to know the date that case has been fixed. So one of the things that has happened is that the system also has a notification system. So the moment they fix a date, all the parties involved are supposed to get an email, an SMS, and WhatsApp that says this is the next date of court.
Improved court administration processes within the Nigerian criminal justice system.
In my court, now we talk, we hear each other very well, loudly. At the same time, there's a recording system in my court. Even if you cough, it will record it. And so it has a better way of saying, okay, yes, everything is here. No need of challenging proceedings or anything, because if you challenge, we'll go back to the system and the system will reproduce whatever that we have done. And the judge too is healthier because he's not writing 247. He's only listening and noting down important points that are coming from the trial.
PPDC have intervened in 2 of the high courts, and my court, one magistrate court, which my court happened to be one of the magistrate court that this intervention came to.
With the Court Administration and Case Management (CACM) project, both the direct and indirect beneficiaries have been greatly impacted. The courts have witnessed and enjoyed infrastructural upgrade such as automated filing shelves and modern racks where case files and evidences are sorted and organized into tamper-proof boxes with proper access control measures.
Case management has helped us to learn how to keep proper records. Now we have a very viable way of keeping records and method of retrieval as well.
And our files are now being numbered and kept in the serial, where anytime you need it, you can easily go there with references, you easily get them.
With the intervention of PPDC, we now realize that some of those records can be imputed into the system. And that is like a backup, whereby even if the main record is missing, you can fall into the system and you trace the record.
Speech-to-text facilities to record and transcribe court processes digitally.
In place of the longhand, where as a judge, the judge will write and at a point will get tired Now, the machines will do the recording, do the taking of the proceedings, and the machines will equally produce the records for the day.
All the office equipments. First of all, by office equipment, I mean they supplied the chairs and the bench. They also supplied computers, printers, and photocopiers. And that is to ease the operations of about 7 courts.
Virtual court hearings.
By the introduction of virtual machines where we can conduct virtual trials, it means that even when the correctional services have problem of producing defendants before the trial court, trial can still proceed in the sense that they can make arrangements at their own end and will conduct virtual trials.
I don't have time to stretch myself buying fuel. I don't have time to stretch my staff of making an escort. Because going out from here to the court, especially in some areas, they used to have some attack.
A virtual hearing center has been established at the Ministry of Justice, Plateau State. Another one has been established at the Just Custodial Center. Another one has been established in Court 4 as well as Court 8, that is speaking about the Plateau State High Court. Then the magistrate courts are also not left behind. The magistrate court in West of Mine has also been fully equipped for these virtual hearings to take place.
Establishment of secretarial posts and record centers equipped with electronic record management system that is well secured with fire alarms, automated access control, and CCTV surveillance systems.
Secretariat pool is an avenue where a computer has been set up for the magistrate of the Plateau State to bring up their cases for us to be typing and save the documents whenever is needed.
Initially, some of these works were being taken out to commercial vendors, but since we started work here, most of the cases are being typed here and we have our records.
Talking about the record center, a whole lot of facilities there. It also has access control, so that you can't just get in there and get out without being noticed. So there's no how a file can get missing there. Also have a solar solution to take care of any power issue. So you will have 24 hours power supply. So you don't have any downtime for any reason.
Thank God for the intervention of the PPDC. At least now we can now type our rulings, our judgment within the courts, and the privacy of our information now is better than before.
I've been working here for the period of 10 years, and I can confess to you what we are experiencing between last year and this year is a serious progress on our side. Compared with the previous days or previous years where you will come in to look for a field, it will take you like more than a month looking for a file.
When I came to retrieve a file here, it was actually easy, fast, accurate, and neater, unlike before when one had to come during the weekend and you have to bring a separate clothes that you do the work because of how dirty and dusty the place is. You have to change, and you have to, before you even get what you need, to take you a very long time.
Other technological facilities have also been provided for ease of operation with inverter systems for uninterrupted power supply.
We at the Plateau State Ministry of Justice, we received 4 computer systems fully loaded, 3 in 1. We received ACs, we received an inverter, fully installed inverter, solar inverter. We received file cabinets, 4 file racks where we will store our case files. Instead of just dumping them in a store somewhere, we now have these racks that we can stack them and categorize them accordingly.
Some of the facilities given to us here is one, we have the solar panel that has inverter with 4 batteries. So now we don't have challenge with light. We have a stable power supply. We have 5 desktop that we've been using for this particular work. We have a multifunctional printer that we also use here. And we have an office file cabinet that have been provided for us.
We have a computer at the registry, the case management registry. Then we have another computer at the Attorney General's office, and another computer at the DPP's office and the legal registry. All these computers were provided by the PPDC.
You know, we have other courts all over the state, not in Jos alone. We have other jurisdictions outside this capital. So with their intervention, things are easy. We don't need to travel. You don't need to travel to Shandam, you don't need to travel to Lantam to carry a file. One is a criminal case file, it will be uploaded here, and will be transmitted to them there, they will work on it. So that makes our work very, very easy.
And capacity development for staff and officials within the criminal justice system in the 3 pilot states.
We've had a series of training for different stakeholders, security operatives like police and correctional officers, also the registrars, secretaries and clerks as well too, on evidence management. Apart from that, the project has also tried as much as we could to close those identified gaps in terms of training the judges as well, and to train Ministry of Justice staff on basic ICT, because the project deployed CMS unit for Ministry of Justice and Judiciary.
There have been trainings, all sectors, the clerks, the registrars, even the judges.
We were taught, in fact, how to name files. In the first place, we were taught there is active file, which the case is ongoing. There is semi-active file, and then there is non-active file when the case is disposed. And you find out that now we tend to arrange the files accordingly.
Before, we were all concentrating on speedy dispensation of justice in the court. But with the project, we're made to realize that even the police also play a vital role in speedy dispensation of justice in the criminal justice system in its state. And that begins with investigation. Most times, you see, few policemen would dive, in the moment the report is made, they dive into investigation. In developed countries, what obtains is that they take their time to carry out inquiries, carry out investigation almost to a conclusive point, so that arrest comes last.
For criminal justice to truly prevail, its system must be timely, efficient, and effective. The Court Administration and Case Management CACM project has sparked the fire of hope and an unquenchable flame of change throughout the beneficiary states, affecting the lives of the citizens in many positive ways, fostering speedy dispensation and access of justice, and also bridging the gaps that exist within the system and its networks.
In a way, both the judiciary, the police, and Ministry of Justice have been brought together as partners in progress to know that we are just on a mission to do one thing: achieve quick dispensation of justice.
So we will now see a case that there's more accountability, the system is faster, so we don't have cases of I can't find a file, a missing paper from a bulky file. Everything has been scanned and uploaded into the system.
We, the 2 courts that are privileged to have this system at the High Court level, it is anticipated that we are going to be the pace setters for the other courts, in the sense that the speed at which we will conduct our own trials will be different. The speed at which people will access our services will be different. And we will also benefit as the judges. We will do a lot with less stress.
PPDC have been doing wonderful work. And anytime, I will be proud to identify myself with PPDC. After my tenure as the chairman of Kaduna branch, they gave me option to continue. I said, I'll jump at that opportunity, because honestly, what they are doing is what everybody, anyone will support. If I have my own personal resources, I won't mind committing it, but I'm just a young lawyer.
One beautiful thing about this project is that the design of this project is unique, because from inception of this project, after meeting with the critical stakeholders, especially the head of the stakeholder agencies, the Administration of Criminal Justice System, there was a state steering committee that these heads of these agencies and parastatals nominated members. Now, the work of the state steering committee is to monitor the day-to-day implementation of the project and also to provide a mechanism for the project's impact and benefits to continue to be maximized long after the expiration of the project term.
We've seen the state partners providing spaces for these key interventions. We've seen the state partners providing express approvals for a lot of our requests. We've seen the state partners willing to sign off these rules and policy documentation so that we could achieve this efficiency. We've also seen a lot of instances which these state partners have invested their own money.
The rate of the commitment they have to the working and their desire to achieve the purpose of the project, I am impressed.
A testament that the Public and Private Development Center, PPDC, is committed and remains resolute in working closely with key stakeholders to address strategic procedural reform issues affecting the criminal justice system through sustainable, innovative, and technology-driven solutions to support the development and deployment of improved, timely, efficient, and transparent court administration and case management across Nigeria.
With the way and manner this is going, and with the impact I've seen, practically speaking, as the OC leader of the command, there is just no how the criminal justice system in the whole country will not be improved tremendously.
This is something that should be replicated in all the states in Nigeria. It will pivot Nigeria as a whole to the top, to the pinnacle of the administration of criminal justice.
You've been working with the state government and you have seen our commitment, you've seen our drive, you've seen our zeal, working with development partners. The only thing that we would call for so that I would continue to support you is to have this coordination.
Right now, we are trying to move from the manual to the digital age in our criminal justice system. And PPDC is at the forefront of doing that.
It is novel. Novel in the sense that at this our level, or at my level, I don't think any other court within the state has this facility. And it's something that I'm very proud of. I'm grateful for because it has simplified the work immensely.
It will really go a long way to help our administration of criminal justice, in fact, and decongest our prisons, which is the main outcry everywhere now.
Beyond all these gadgets, beyond all the files that have been arranged, we see the lives of people at the tail end. Everything you do for every system that is corrected, it affects the life of somebody in detention and beyond him, the people that are depending on him or his loved ones, and it sanitizes the society. So I'm excited to be part of this.
On behalf of the Kaduna State and the Kaduna State Judiciary in particular, we extend our gratitude and appreciation to the case management system and PPDC for what they have brought to us.
We are very grateful for the intervention in this jurisdiction. We are very glad to partner with them.
On behalf of myself, the judiciary, and even the government of Nasarawa State, why not? I can say that we are grateful, we appreciate the role they have played.
On behalf of my courts, the Plateau State Judiciary, I wish to really thank PPDC for this mighty intervention.
We appreciate INL USAID for the support and the impact that the project is bringing to Nigerian justice sector system is what we want to be amplifying across the state if we have the opportunity so that it can be replicated in other states.
The judiciary should now move from the analog to the digital, and this intervention is indeed very apt. I recommend it very strongly that it be implemented to all the judiciary of the country.